Good morning, everyone. Everything looks good. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Got about 2 minutes till we get started. You can go ahead and get comfortable, have a seat. If you have blocks or any props, you can grab those now. So for blocks, during the flow part, you can use water bottles, you can use books, you can use anything that's kind of steady that'll help you maybe balance or get a little height. Towards the end, when we cool it down and stretch it out, you'll want to use maybe a pillow or rolled up blanket or something like that if you don't have blocks. And sometimes it just feels better to use those anyway. So whatever you have at your house. We've got about another minute. JJ's making his little morning rounds. It's hard to imagine that this has been about, I guess this is about our 4th week. Sometimes I lose track of the weeks. Our 4th week doing this live. It's getting to be pretty routine at this point, but I can't wait to actually see you guys in person again and see you and feel that energy and check in and see how everyone's doing as well. So hopefully we'll get to that point again soon, and we'll be able to flow together in the same room, and that'll be so nice. It's been a crazy week, so I go to school full-time online, and I just finished my finals and my essays and everything. This semester is over. I get to take a little bit of breather before my summer semester, so it is nice to take a little breath. And if you follow me on YouTube or my Facebook business channel, I'll probably be putting some fitness and some other yoga style classes out there as well in the next couple weeks when I have a little more time. So welcome to Sunrise Yoga, everyone. My name is Nikki. For those of you who don't know me, I am a Yoga Buzz graduate from the first training. I've been teaching for Yoga Buzz for a couple of years. Just really love it. I love bringing yoga to you guys. This is your class, so please do what you need to do. Take modifications, take variations, take a breath, ramp it up if that's what you'd like today, or keep it nice and chill. Whatever you are needing today, this is for you. Before we get started, just a couple of things. So this is a totally different format for Yoga Buzz. We do offer classes for free. We have a ton of free classes, and we're doing a whole bunch at 2:30 for Earth Day every day this week through Sunday, 2:30 to 3, and I'll be doing it on Friday. If you can donate, we truly appreciate it. It's wonderful if you can donate to us. We also have this really great program. We teamed up with Patreon, Patreon, and you can become a donor for as little as $5 a month, and you get some cool benefits all the way up to, I think it goes up to like $200 something a month. So if you'd like to do that, we'd really appreciate it, and you get some cool benefits with that as well. And you help us bring yoga to everyone. So we are going to get started today in a nice tall seat. So that can be legs crossed, it can be legs long, it can be whatever is comfortable for you. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders roll back, soften your jaw, soften your gaze or close your eyes, whatever you'd like. And just start to breathe here. Focus on your breath. Start to slow everything down. I know, especially with everything going on in the world, we have a lot of thoughts coming and going in our head. There's a lot of feelings going on. So try and focus on your breath during class. Try and take this little bit of time for you to let go of the outside world. Just focus inward a little bit and give yourself this little bit of time. Let's take about 2 more rounds of breath here. Big inhale, fill your belly, fill to the bottom of your lungs. Let it all out. Let's take one more big breath like that. Big breath in. And let it out. Good. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or gaze soft. And as you inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist it to the right. Let your hands float down wherever it's comfortable. And we're going to pause here for a nice twist. On your inhale, think of growing taller, lengthening up through the spine. And as you exhale, maybe twist a tiny bit deeper. So it doesn't have to be a noticeable twist. You'll just feel it in your body. And while we're paused here breathing, I forgot to tell you guys, I do have a suggested playlist. You can find my playlist on Spotify. This one is YB for Yoga Buzz, Arch, and then the date 04/21/20. I also have other playlists there as well. You are welcome to listen to any of my playlists anytime. Let's inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist it to the left. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine. Exhale to twist a little deeper. Pause here a few breaths and I'll continue. What I was saying, my Spotify name is Fit Nikki 2, FITNIKKI, and the number 2. And I have a lot of yoga playlists on there. Some of them are 45 minutes, like these classes. Some are an hour. Feel free to listen to any of them anytime you'd like. I love making playlists, and feel free to reach out if there are certain songs you'd like to hear maybe next week for class. I'm always open to suggestions. Let's take a big inhale and come back up through center. Exhale to lean it over to the right side. Let your right hand come down. Reach with your left hand. Push into your left hip. Open up that shoulder. So sometimes the shoulder will come forward. You want to shrug it back so you can lengthen out the side of your body. And if you'd like, you can even reach that right arm out a little more to deepen the stretch. We're going to take one more inhale, really push into the hip and reach with the fingers. Exhale, pause here. And then come back up to the center. Exhale to lean over to the left side, pressing into the right hip, reaching with the right fingers, maybe reaching those fingers long, and take a couple breaths here. Opening up that shoulder, really lengthening out the side of your body. Today, we are going to wake up our minds a little bit in class. So we're going to do some little bit different stuff, nothing too physically difficult. Come on back through center. Hands float down. We'll do a nice seated cat-cow. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your chin, shrug your shoulders back. Exhale, curl your back, bring your chin to your chest, round the shoulders. Continue here with your breath. On that inhale, you're going to lift up. Exhale to curl in. Good. Continue with your breath here, just really warming up the spine. One of my favorite, I always tell you guys, this is one of my favorite stretches, cat-cow, in any position, seated or tabletop. For me, it feels so great on my back. Anytime I need to stretch out my back or things feel a little bit tight, it's one of my absolute favorites. There we go. Let's take about 2 more rounds of breath here. And like I said, we're going to focus on the mind. We're going to move directions a little bit in class. We're not going to take it fast, but it's going to make your brain work a little bit. I always like to make that brain work in the morning. On your next inhale, find a nice seat, nice neutral spine. We're just going to warm up the neck just a little bit. We're going to relax the jaw. And as you exhale, let your right ear fall to your right shoulder. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, back up to center. Good. Just a couple more like that. Really push down your opposite shoulder. Push down that left shoulder. Lengthen out the neck. Come on back up through center. One more time over to the left, pushing down that right shoulder. Come back up through center. Let your chin fall towards your chest. Relax the jaw. If you'd like a little more stretch, you can lace your fingers. Place your hands on the back of your head. Don't push your head down, but just let gravity kind of push on your head, lengthening out the neck. And release the hands. Come on back up. We're going to find our way into tabletop. So maybe swing your legs around or roll through. Bringing your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Take a pause here. You want to push down into the tops of your feet. Press into your knuckles. Lengthen through your tailbone and the crown of your head, and your gaze is towards the ground. Let's do a couple more cat-cows. Let your belly drop towards the ground. Head and hips rise. Root down into the earth. Arch your back up to the sky. We're going to take just a couple more rounds here. A little bit deeper cat-cow than our seat. One more round. Come back to that nice neutral spine. We're going to find our way into down dog. So if you need to walk your hands forward a little, go ahead. Root down into your knuckles, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. You can keep a nice bend to your knees if that feels good. Pedal it out. Move the hips side to side, whatever you like here. Take a few breaths. If down dog is just not where you need to be today, you can lower your knees and you can come back into that cat-cow. That's a nice alternative. You can also just take a rest here if you need. I'm going to have to start pulling back my hair a little bit. Got the quarantine hair growth going here. It's a good thing I decided before this to grow out my hair and I don't have my little pixie cut grow out. That one's always a little awkward. On your next inhale, find some stillness to your dog. Let your neck and your jaw relax. Let your head hang here. And then on your next exhale, step your feet forward a little bit wider than your hips. You can grab opposite elbows or let your hands hang. Relax your neck and your jaw. Try and bring your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Maybe sway side to side, or nod your head yes and no, or shift your weight forward and back, anything that feels good. But just imagine that your head is so heavy, pulling down on your spine, relaxing everything out. Take one more big breath here. And then gently roll up one vertebra at a time. Stack them one right on top of each other and let the head come up last. Heel toe your heels underneath your hips and shrug your shoulders back a few times here. Good. Let's go ahead and get set up in a nice mountain pose. So heels under hips, nice neutral position. Pull these lower abs in a little so your tailbone goes down. Palms are open, chin is lifted. Take a breath in through your nose, fill your belly. Exhale to let everything go. And then big inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale to bring your hands to your heart. And we're going to move into our classic sun salutations. If you've done class with me before, I do enjoy this sun salutation a lot. Let's take a big breath in. Soften your knees and hinge forward. Step your right foot back, coming into a nice low lunge. So you can bring your fingertips or even grab your blocks. Let's take a pause here. Lift the chest, lift the chin. Your knee is in line with your toe. And you can move those blocks, step back to your down dog. Shift forward into your plank. That can be your toes or your knees. Hug your elbows and lower all the way to your belly. And if those blocks are in your way, you can kind of move them a little bit. Shrug your shoulders back. Lift just your heart, your rib cage. Take it to cobra. Hugging your elbows in, pressing through the tops of your feet and your thighs. Then tuck your toes. Press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward. Left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise up, reach for the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, soften your knees, fold forward. Left foot steps back, maybe grab those blocks. We're going to pause in this lunge, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. And you can set those blocks to the side, step back to down dog. Shift forward into your plank. Again, toes or knees. Hug the elbows in as you lower to your belly. Shrug your shoulders back, lifting your heart, hugging the elbows in. And press back to down dog. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Soften the knees and fold. Right foot steps back. We're going to add a twist here. Plant your right hand. Left hand can come to your hip or the sky. You can also put a block underneath your right hand. You can lower that knee for some support. Take one more inhale. Lengthen through the crown of the head and your fingertips. Exhale, let your hand come down to frame your foot. Step back to that down dog. Shift into your plank. Hug your elbows in to lower. Shrug your shoulders back, lift your heart, press into the tops of your toes, and press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward. Left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise, reaching high. Maybe take a little back bend if you'd like. And you bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Soften your knees to fold. Left foot steps back. Plant the left hand. Right hand comes to the hip or the sky for that twist. Again, you can always lower your knee or put a block underneath your hand. And as you exhale, let that hand come down to frame your foot. Step back to down dog. Shift into your plank. Hug your elbows to lower down. Shoulders shrug back. Lift your heart. And press back to down dog. Left foot steps forward. I forgot what leg we were on. Right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise. Hands come down to your heart. Let's add a little more movement. Reach for the sky. And fold forward. Right foot steps back. Plant your right hand. Left fingers reach up. Bring that hand down, and then you're going to turn in your right heel. Let me face you this way. Turn in your right heel. Rise up into warrior two. So you can sweep that right fingers forward, up, and out. So let's just pause here. Find this shape for a moment. So root down into the outer edge of your right foot. Left knee and toe are in line with each other. Maybe pull back a little on your hip. Shrug the shoulders back. Always want a nice proud chest. All 10 fingers are strong and reaching. Gaze is over your left hand. And you're going to inhale, reach for the sky. Lengthen the left leg. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Maybe take it a tiny bit deeper. Inhale, pause here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. step back to down dog. Shift forward into plank. Hug your elbows to lower down. Shrug your shoulders back to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward. Left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. And reach for the sky. Soften your knees to fold. And step your left foot back. Plant your hand. Reach up for the sky for that twist. And let your hand float down. Turn in the left heel. Rise up into that warrior two. So pause here. Find that shape. Root down to the outer edge of the left foot. Right knee and toe are in line with each other. If you're like me, I always have to pull back on that back hip. Open up the chest. All 10 fingers nice and strong. Inhale, reach for the sky. Lengthen the left leg. Open up warrior two. Take it a tiny bit deeper. Pause here for an inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step back to down dog. Shift it into plank. Hug the elbows to lower. Shrug your shoulders back, lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause here. We're going to start changing direction a little bit more. I'm just changing the way I face so that I don't have my back to you guys. So it takes a little thinking on my part today too. Using my brain this morning. So inhale, reach for the sky. Soften your knees and fold forward. Right foot steps back. Plant your right hand, left fingers reach up for that twist. Then let your hand come down. Turn in the right heel, rise up warrior two. Good, so inhale, reach for the sky, lengthen the left leg. Come on back down to that warrior two. We're going to do that 2 more times. Feel free to switch up the arms if you want to take it to cactus arms here. Squeezing the shoulder blades, opening up the chest a bit, and open up. Good, this time inhale, reach for the sky, turn in the right heel, maybe heel toe in just for a moment, and then bend your elbows and knees coming into goddess pose. So let's pause here. Shoulders are over hips like you're sliding down a wall. Tailbone faces down. Relax the neck and the jaws. If you'd like a little more challenge, lift your heels. We're going to pulse here. You're going to inhale, reach up to the sky, lengthen the legs. Exhale, bend the knees and bend the elbows. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale to reach up. Bend the knees and the elbows. And 1 more time, reach it up. And bend the knees and the elbows. If your heels are lifted, go ahead and lower them. Reach on up. Open your arms up. And then you want to find that warrior two facing the right. So turn that left heel back out. Bend the right knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step back to down dog. Shift it into your plank. Hug your elbows to lower down. Shrug your shoulders back. Hug the elbows in as you lift your heart. And then press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward into that lunge. Left foot steps up to meet it. Rise up, reach for the sky. Hands come down to heart. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale to fold. Left foot steps back. Plant your left hand, right fingers reach up for your twist. And then let that hand come down to frame your foot. Turn in the left heel. Rise up into that warrior two. Inhale, reach for the sky. Lengthen the right leg. And come to warrior two, or take those cactus arms. You've got a couple more here. Reach up high. And bend that knee. One more time, reach it up. And cactus arms or warrior two. And then this time, reach it up. Turn in the left heel. Maybe heel toe in just a little bit and come into that goddess pose. So take a pause here. Again, shoulders over hips. Chest is open. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and the elbows. Maybe take it a little bit deeper. Maybe lift those heels. We've got two more here, two more pulses. Let's take one more here. If the heels are lifted, go ahead and lower them. Lengthen the legs, reach for the sky. Turn the right heel out, finding warrior two to the left leg. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Step back to down dog. Shift it into your plank. Hug your elbows to lower down. Lift your heart. Press back to that down dog. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause here. How's the brain doing? It's okay if you mix up sides. I do it all the time. It's okay if you get them mixed up. We get both sides done. We're going to add one more move on. So inhale to reach up for the sky. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Right foot steps back. Plant the right hand. Left fingers reach up for a twist. And let that hand float down. Turn in the right heel. Rise up, warrior two. Inhale, reach up for the sky. We're just going to do one pulse here. Open up warrior two, or take those cactus arms. Inhale, reach up. Turn in the right heel, coming into goddess pose. Bend the elbows and the knees. Inhale to reach up. And find that warrior two, turning the left heel out. Inhale, pause here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your down dog. Shift forward into your plank. Hug the elbows to lower down. Shrug your shoulders back and lift your heart. Press into the tops of your feet. Press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward. You can grab your blocks or bring your fingertips forward. You're going to shift all your weight into the right leg. Left leg floats up here. Doesn't have to come very high. We're going to take Shiva squat. So you're going to bend both knees. Bring the left knee behind the right. And this might be your Shiva squat, or maybe you're here. We've got two more. Inhale to lengthen that left leg. And bend both knees. And you can have those blocks here. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Bend both knees. Lengthen out that left leg again. Then bend your knee and bring your foot next to the right. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. And reach for the sky. Soften the knees to fold. Left foot steps back. Plant your left hand, right fingers reach for the sky. Come back and frame your foot. Turn in the left heel. Rise up into that warrior two. One time, reach for the sky. Lengthen the leg. Cactus arms, or bring it back into your warrior. Inhale to reach up. Turn the right heel out, right heel in, left heel in. Come into that goddess pose. Bend both knees and elbows. And reach it up. Find that warrior two. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame the left foot. Step back to down dog. Shift it into plank. Hug the elbows to lower down. Shrug your shoulders back, lift your heart, press into the tops of your feet, and press back to down dog. Left foot steps forward. Shift your weight into that left foot, fingertips to your block or the mat, and float the right leg. Bend both knees, right comes behind left, and lengthen. And 2 more like that. Inhale to lengthen. We've got 1 more Shiva squat. And lengthen that leg. And then bend your left knee and set your foot down next to the, or right knee, set your foot down next to the left. Rise up. Hands to heart. Fantastic job, guys. Grab a drink if you need it. Take a breath if you need it. We're going to do some standing balance work. So one thing I always love to encourage with standing balances and anytime in class are props. So I always think of blocks as our friends. They help us to get where we need to be. They prop us up. They give us support. They help us balance. So blocks are always your friends. It doesn't matter what level of practice you're at. You can always use a prop to enhance your practice. So we're going to start by taking one block, and you're just going to put it in front of you in case you need a little extra help today. Some days my balance is just not happening, and that block helps me to steady everything out. Start by rooting down into your left foot. So all 4 corners of your left foot. Big toe, little toe, inside, outside of your heel, shifting all your weight. Float that right leg. So again, here's where that block can come in handy. If this is not happening for you today, little kickstand here, little support. You want to even out your hips, shrug the shoulders back, hands to your heart. So you can stay right here. Foot is flexed. You can lengthen that leg for more intensity. If you're really wanting to challenge yourself today, grab your big toe with your left hand, and you can keep that knee bent or lengthen it out, but you want to stand up nice and tall. So you don't want to be crunched over here. You want to be tall. So this might not be happening for you today, and that's okay. Take that right arm, reach it back, and maybe your gaze follows, maybe it doesn't. So you have a lot of options here. Just taking a nice little twist with your body, making sure you're breathing. Pull that breath into the bottom of the lungs. Relax your jaw. Relax your throat. Focus your gaze. And we're going to take one more breath wherever you are at in your balance. On your next inhale, find your way back to center, bringing your hands to your heart and letting the right foot float down. And let's switch sides. Root down all 4 corners of that right foot, big toe, little toe, inside and outside of the heel. Float your left leg, and again, feel free to let that foot come to the block if you're needing some support today. Even out the hips, shrug the shoulders back. Stay here, maybe lengthen the leg, maybe try and grab your big toe. Also, you're at home, maybe you have a wall or a chair near you, and you can grab a little support. Start to take that left arm back behind you, and maybe your gaze follows. So again, lots of variations here on this pose. Listen to your body. Do what you need to do today. So we're not robots. Our bodies don't always do everything we want them to do. So you just have to accept where you are, work hard, and just accept where you're at today and work with what you have today. Some days I can really rock a balance for forever, it feels like, and other days I can barely stay standing on 2 feet. So really depends on your day. On your next inhale, come on back through center. Release that left leg down. Give it a nice shake out. And I know we all love chair, right? Yay, chair pose! So we're just going to do a balancing chair, figure 4 chair, which is one of my favorites. So you'll root down into all 4 corners of your left foot again. Float that right knee, and this time bring your ankle in front of your thigh or your shin. You want to keep that foot flexed and your knee and your hip open, shoulders shrug back. So this is a great place to work on your balance. If you'd like a challenge, if you want to try something a little different, sit your hips back. If you'd like more of a challenge or hamstring stretch, bring your hands down to your block or the ground and lengthen the left leg. Coming into a bit of a forward fold, letting your head and your jaw relax. One more breath wherever you're at. And then gently find your way back up. Release that right leg, set it down, and let's try the other side. Root down all 4 corners of that right foot. Float your left knee, ankle comes in front of your shin or your thigh. Stay here, focusing your gaze and breathing, or maybe have a seat, see how you do. And again, a wall right next to you is a great support. Maybe bring your hands down to the block or the ground. Maybe lengthen that leg. Maybe not. Wherever you are at in your balance, take a full breath here. And then gently come back to that original position. Release the left leg, set it down, maybe shake out those legs for a breath. We're just going to cool it down and stretch it out here. So take a big breath in. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to reach up. Soften your knees and fold forward. Bend your knees and let your hips come down onto the mat. You're going to take your legs long in front of you. And if you'd like, you can grab your blocks. You want to sit up nice and tall. Find your sit bones. Spine is long, feet are flexed, knees can be bent if need be. So you're going to either take your hands to your blocks or to your thighs. And you're just going to start to walk yourself forward. You want to keep your spine long. So a lot of times in this forward fold, seated forward fold, we let the back curl in, we release and around the back. And you want to keep your spine long here today. So nice long line from the tailbone to the crown of your head. So slide the blocks or walk your fingers forward on your shins, keeping your spine long. And you may not come as far as you usually do, and that's okay. You just want to breathe here. We're going to take about 3 more breaths. Soften your knees for less intensity if that's what you're needing today. We're going to take 1 more breath here. And then gently walk your fingers or slide your blocks back up to that seated position. Bend your knees and bring the bottoms of your feet together in a nice little butterfly or bound angle. It's okay if the whole soles of your feet don't touch, as long as that outer edge touches. Sit up nice and tall again, lengthen up through the spine, and then fold forward and try and keep that spine long. So again, you may not come very far, and that's okay. Take some nice deep breaths here. Imagine that your hips are opening up a little bit more with each exhale. Sometimes when we imagine things with our brain, it makes our body actually do it. It's amazing the power of the brain. On your next inhale, rise up. And you're going to bend your knees. And we're going to come into a seated pigeon or figure 4. So take your hands by your hips and walk them back a little bit. Fingers are pointed at the top of your mat. Heel of your hands at the back of your mat. You're going to bend your elbows. Take your right ankle in front of your left thigh. Flex your foot. Open up that knee and that hip. And bring your chest as close to your thigh as you can. So if you're needing a little more stretch here, you can bring your hips towards your left heel. You just want to sit up tall, flex your foot, bring your chest as close to your thigh as you can, and take a few breaths here. And I'm wearing my purple pants in honor of the anniversary of Prince's death. If any of you are Prince fans, it was a sad day for us fans, and I always try to honor one of my favorite musicians with wearing some purple all day, listening to Prince music. Let's take one more breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees, maybe walk your hands back, maybe scoot your hips back a little bit, and let's switch legs. So take that right leg out. Left ankle comes in front of your right thigh. Flex your foot. And again, find that stretch here. And it may look and feel different than the other side, and that's okay. Just depends where your body's at today. Taking a few breaths here. Take about 2 more breaths. And if you watch my class on Friday, the Earth Day class at 2:30, we'll be incorporating lion's breath into the beginning of class. Let's go ahead and release that leg. We are also doing the Instagram challenge. So if you're not following Yoga Buzz on Instagram, please do. We have a pose each day, and then you tag Yoga Buzz and St. Louis Earth Day, and you do the hashtags. And on Friday, that pose is lion's breath. So we're going to go ahead and incorporate that into our class as well. So make sure your hips are midway on your mat. Grab a block or blanket or a pillow. Roll on down to your back. Bring your heels in towards your hips. Lift up your hips and place that block under your low back, so just above your glutes, that flat part right there. Lift your shoulders and shrug them back. You can stay right here, supported bridge. Maybe take your legs up for waterfall, or maybe take them nice and long, letting your hips, your knees, and your toes open up. Let's take about 4 rounds of breath here. Your hands can be wherever is comfortable. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Focus on your breath. And maybe take a little notice of how that block feels against your low back. Do you feel a little bit of gentle pressure starting to release the muscles? Does it feel really uncomfortable, or does it feel really good? Just take note of how that feels. Take a couple breaths here. Let's take one more round of breath. Big inhale through the bottom of the lungs. Let it all out. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Lift your hips and slide that block out. Bring your hips back down to the ground. We're going to take a little twist. So we've done a lot of figure 4 today. We're going to take twist with the figure 4. Right ankle comes in front of your left thigh. Arms come out to the side. As you exhale, let your legs fall over to the right side. Inhale back up to center. Exhale to the left. Come back up to center. One more time each with your breath. On that exhale, the legs will fall over to the right and come back up, and to the left. And then they're going to pause here for a couple breaths. So you can gaze over your right shoulder. You can soften your gaze. You can close your eyes. And take one more breath here. Come on back up to center. Release the right foot to the floor and take your left ankle in front of your thigh. And then as you exhale, let your legs fall arming your left ankle in front of your right thigh. Let your legs fall to the left side first. And come back up through center. Over to the right. And back through center. One more time each side with your breath. And when you bring it over to that right side, pause here for a couple breaths. Come on back through center. Give your knees a little hug. Maybe rock a little side to side. Take about 2 breaths here. And then find your way into your final rest, your Shavasana. So that can be legs long, arms by your side. Maybe you like a nice bound angle with blocks supporting your thighs or knees. Maybe you like to take a seat or anything else that feels good. If that felt really good to have that block under your lower back, you can go ahead and take that pose as well. If you are on your back, gently lift your shoulders and shrug them back to open up your chest one more time and settle in. Soften your gaze or close your eyes here. And start to focus in on your breath, knowing that it is okay if you can't clear your mind. It's okay for thoughts to pop into your head. Just try to let them go. You can acknowledge them and then let them float away. Wrap them up in a little bubble and let them float away. And bring your focus back to your breath, back to your body. Friends, please take as long as you need here. Taking your time to rest, relax, and reset. From my heart to yours, peace, love, and kindness. Stay healthy, friends, and I hope to see you again soon.